Woo! Osage orange trees have thorns, and one just went in my ass. And my hand. Whew. I'll get right back with you. I don't know how funny that looked, but we'll see. Oh, that's better. Woo! I got an Osage orange thorn in my hand and in my ass. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep the video in there, but log just broke and I fell backwards. Anyway, the reason this video is being made, I'm going to do a couple today, I think. I've been out setting some mainly live traps out here on some property. I'm close to a major highway. I'd probably say half a mile maybe away from a major highway that this way, west of me. To the east is open fields and stuff. To the north there's a small road, maybe a quarter of a mile down there. And then south, which is behind me, there's a house which is pretty close. Then there's a road, a little small road, that's just a hop, skip, and a jump right there. But I am out in the woods, and I couldn't honestly tell you how big it is. It's kind of a small woods. The property is owned by my wife's one of my wife's cousins, and they've always told me that I could come out here anytime I wanted, but I was always so busy elsewhere that I just never really came out here. But a couple days ago, I decided I was going to come out and get some experience and practice some trapping, and maybe if it was nice to, you know, do a little bit of training out here. They got some nuisance woodchucks out here, so I'm gonna collect up a few woodchucks, and hopefully I can get 2 or 3 of them, and I'd like to make another hat. I did make a hat out of a woodchuck that I got several years back, but it was really small. I made it as big as I could with what I had, but this time I'm hoping to catch 3 or 4 of them and make a hat actually big enough for myself. So anyway, I've been out here setting up traps. I've got 3 live cage traps. I got a really big one that caught nothing yesterday, and I moved that one to where I know for a fact there's a huge coon. And the reason that I know that is because I set up a foothold for specifically for a raccoon, and it got in there for sure. And I think it was mainly my fault, because I left too much distance for it to move around, and it wrapped around a couple trees and some rotten sticks and stuff, and it ended up getting out. But so anyway, that was probably, well, no doubt that part of it was my fault that it got out. So I repositioned that one elsewhere, and I shortened that chain up so it doesn't have so much movement. So so I've got those out, and then I set up a coniber, which is a small 110, and to be totally honest, it's way too small for what I'm trying to catch. But two things. One, I don't have anything any bigger than that. I have a couple 110 conifers, and that's it as far as those go. And the den that I put it in, it filled it up. So you know, you never know, it might work. But regardless, that's the only killing trap I have out here. I also have a very small, like squirrel live cage trap that I just set up on a tree over there to the east a little there. So we'll see. We'll see. So I got three. Oh, I didn't talk about the medium-sized live trap. The medium-sized live trap is the one that had the possum in it. And I'm making an assumption that this is going to be more than one video, and most likely the one where I caught the possum probably come out before this one does, or maybe at the same time, I don't know. But I caught a little possum. It was a little guy. I don't know, maybe that big. He was a little guy. But I went ahead and released him, and I've got video of that. I'm not out here to kill anything. I don't have to do that. I'm not out here. Well, okay, I take that back. I am out here to actually maybe eradicate 3 or 4 woodchucks, and if I'm lucky, maybe a couple raccoons, because I would love to have a raccoon skin cap. So I got to take that back. Okay, maybe I am out here to eradicate a couple things, but they're going to be used. I'm not just doing it just for shits and giggles. But anyway, the medium-sized one, I caught the possum in, and I went ahead and released that. It was way too small for me to use for anything, so I released that. So that's how the traps are set up today. So I think right now I'm going to end this part of the video. I'm not even sure where it's going to be placed, but there are 2 other things I want to discuss. One is 2 things I do want to discuss. Procuring food in a survival slash striving outdoor situation. And the second one I'd like to discuss is the difference between knowledge, skill, and experience.